Hello everybody. This is a test run of the 1979 Fall Classic as we get ready for the game of the week tomorrow. I did that on the recording, but we're doing that live tomorrow, so I want to practice a live game on YouTube so I can get everything the way I want it as far as presentation, or at least as close as I can get to it. So today, it's opening day in the 1979 season for the Pittsburgh Pirates as they take on the Montreal Expos. That is my practice game. Bert Blyleven against Steve Rogers is your pitching matchup. I am going to use an old Strat-O-Matic score sheet to keep score. No bells and whistles, no OBS, no nothing, because I want to concentrate on the game itself and make sure that I don't mess up the rules if I can help it. Steve Rogers and Bert Blyleven. So the first thing to do, of course, is the bullpen sessions for both pitchers. So we're going to start with Steve Rogers and see what kind of bullpen session he can come up with in this game. That's a 17. He's on his C grades, so not too good there. Bert Blyleven, same deal. He's on his C grade. So both pitchers are on their C grades, not what they want there, obviously, but that's what they get. So it will be Bert Blyleven out there with his C grades. On the 79 season, Bert Blyleven was 12-5 with an ERA of 3.60. And he'll be starting out facing Andre Dawson for the Expos. I do have the Pittsburgh Pirate Three River Stadium chart here. And that we'll pull that in when it's necessary. Hello, Larry. Good to see you. I'm hoping everything looks okay on this, but I don't know for sure, to be quite honest with you. Not quite sure how this is showing up. Hopefully it does. We'll find out. I don't want to have too much glare on here. That's the problem. I don't have the overhead light on, and I'm afraid if I turn it on, it's going to be too much glare, but I'll check it just to see if that causes too much glare or whether that light is better now. I got the overhead light on, so maybe that's better. I don't know. Maybe that makes things a little bit easier to read, easier to see, perhaps. All right, so we got our Pittsburgh colored dice. I do have the charts off camera on my book. Thank you for that, Larry. And I do have the defensive chart, the 54 chart, and the bunt chart all set out to the side in case I need to pull them out separately. I will show those charts. I'm not going to show the out and base advancement charts. There's just too much going back and forth. But for important things like the defense and stuff like that, I will. All right, so Andre Dawson will start us off here against Bert Blyleven. 56, and that's a blank. So we go to C grade. 56 is still a strikeout for Bert Blyleven. He still gets the strikeout even with the C grades because that 56 is going to produce the strikeout. All right, here's Rodney Scott, second baseman. 66 for Rodney Scott. 1-5 is a triple. That's a 7. So Rodney Scott, a one-out double for Rodney Scott. And I do have Action PC, the game, up on my screen, so I'm going to score it as I play it. It's not going to, like I said, it's no OBS thing where I'm trying to do multiple things at one time, but I am going to score the game so I keep myself straight. So Rodney Scott's at second base with one out, and that's going to bring up Warren Cromartie. We get a 25, and that's going to be an out. That's a 15. So we go to our runner on second out chart, and a 15. Runner on second out chart and a 15. Depending on what side of the plate the batter is hitting on, he's a lefty. So that's a ground ball to first, 3-1 as he flips the pitcher covering. Runner does advance to third. So Scott does take it to third, but it's a ground out to Stargell. And Stargell will flip to Blyleven covering the bag. 2 down, and now it's up to Ellis Valentine, the right fielder. Valentine. See what he can do. 23. He's going to strike out. That's what he's going to do. Second strikeout for Blyleven, and that's going to end the inning. Nothing doing for the Expos. They get the double, but nothing else. We go to the bottom of the first. Steve Rogers is on. Steve Rogers in the 79 season had a record of 13-12 with an ERA of an even 3.00. Frank Taveras, Omar Moreno, and Dave Parker will start things off for the Buccos. Lots of speed on this 79 Pirate team. Taveras, the shortstop. I guess he was injured or traded. I think he might have got traded to the Mets or something. But he only had 45 at bats. And eventually, of course, they picked up Tim Foley to take that spot. But on opening day, he is on the Pirates. We get a 56. 56 again is going to be a strikeout. That's an out X. Out X. So I'm thinking that's going to override the strikeout. Since he didn't strike out very much, they're going to take the strikeout away with an out there. It's a 14. And with the bases empty on a 14, that is simply going to be a 4-3 ground out. So that's one of those things where he didn't strike out much. So rather than going to the pitcher card for a strikeout under a 56, we stay on the batter card, and it's just a regular out. And it's going to be a 4-3 ground out as Rodney Scott throws him out, one away. And that'll send up Omar Moreno. 45, and that's a blank here. C grade for Rogers. 45 is still an out. That's a 17. It'll be a fly ball to left field. 2 up and 2 down go the Buccos here in the bottom of the first. And that'll take us to the Cobra, Dave Parker. An 11 for Parker. That's a single and a 1-8. That is an 18, though. So that's going to be a walk, and it's a plus sign there. So that means he is going to steal. My house rule is if he's got a plus there, it's like you have to steal. I'm not even making an option unless the score dictates otherwise. But certainly in the first inning with no score, he's going to try to steal. Look at the arm of Gary Carter. Catcher arm. Gary Carter does have a strong arm, so that will affect his safe chances. As we look at the stealing chart. I don't worry about getting jumps or anything, but we are looking at the stealing chart. Oops, wrong side. Let's go over here. Stealing here. Strong arm decreases it by 2. So the safe range is 1-17 for Parker, but that's now 1-15 because of the strong arm of Gary Carter. So it's a 1-15 to steal it. And he's out. He got caught stealing. Gary Carter guns him down, and that's going to end the inning. Gary Carter, the man. One inning is in the books, and we got no score from Pittsburgh. That means Stars have to lead off the next inning as Parker is caught stealing. Top of the second we go. Tony Perez will step up. 54, so good thing I got the 54 chart handy. Bases are empty. D20 is a 19. So with the D20 and 19, it says sky high pop up to short. Rain chart, roll 1d6. Well, I'm not worried about rain. I don't even want to deal with rain. So we're just going to re-roll this because I'm not dealing with rain outs or anything like that. I want to get this game in. So we're going to override that and just bypass it. 36 for Perez, and that's going to be an out for Blyleven. It's a 10, and 10 on the bases out chart. It's a line out to whatever the white die is. That's a 6, so it is a line out to right field. So Perez hits a hard liner to right field, and that's one away here in the top of the second inning. Brings up Gary Carter. 62 for Gary Carter, and that's going to be a strikeout for Blyleven, his third. even on his C grades, you can still get some good results. 2 down for Larry Parrish, third baseman. 43, and that's going to be a walk. So Blyleven issues his first walk of the game, as Parrish will trot down to first base with 2 outs. And that'll take us to Chris Spire, shortstop. 43, and 43 is going to be another walk, back-to-back walks. And that'll bring up the pitcher, Steve Rogers. One thing I like about this is no DH. I miss not playing with the pitchers hitting. So Rogers will hit. He was a 156 hitter, real world. 31, that's usually a hit, but I'm using the Replay Gamers homebrew of making this a range check. So we're going to make that a range check and see if he can earn the hit that way. So we come over here for a range check under the 53. And we get a 65, which is an infield single chance here. Range check on the shortstop. Shortstop range play for Frank Taveras. If we look at Taveras' range at shortstop, his range is only a 1, not very good. So that's obviously going to get by for a base hit. And so now we check the chart and see what the base running result is. 65, it says star plus to center field. Star plus, batter safe at first, runners advance 2 bases. So that's going to score Parrish and send Spire to third. And the Expos take a 1-0 lead. How about that? The pitcher, Steve Rogers, helping his own cause as he snuck it by Taveras, who had terrible range. Now we're back to the top of the order for Andre Dawson. Dawson struck out his first chance, so Rogers with an RBI single. Expos lead at 1-0. All this after the first 2 were outs and the bases were empty. A couple of walks really hurt Blyleven. 32, and 32 is going to be an out, and that's a 7. Runners on the corners, and the 7. So that result is a fly out to left field. And since that's the third out, we're not worried about anybody tagging up. It's simply a fly out. But the Expos do take the lead. Mr. Steve Rogers helping his own cause with an RBI single. So the bottom of the second, it's the Expos 1, Pirates 0. Due up for the Pirates, it'll be Stargell, Robinson, and Stennett. Stargell was at the plate when Parker got thrown out trying to steal. 54. So we'll go back to the 54 chart. The D20 is a 13. So we come over here. 13 to 15. Single. Refer to D20 to see who fields it. Well, the 13 says left fielder. So that means we're looking at Cromartie. Now roll versus the E rating for extra bases. Okay, we're going to roll for the E rating on Cromartie. And in left field, Cromartie error rating is a 7. So on the D20, a 1 to 7 means that he's going to boot it. And the batter, Stargell, will get second base on the error. 8 or higher, there is no boot. It's just a solid single. That's a 4, so it will be a single plus an error on Cromartie. Single plus the E7. And that will put Stargell at second base with nobody out. A little sloppy play there from Cromartie. Stargell at second, nobody out for Bill Robinson. 65, it's a home run straight up. His home run chances are 1 to 10. That's a 9. It's gone. Bill Robinson, a 2-run home run, as he has nothing to take away here. He had 24 home runs real world and a 1 to 10 on the C grades. And that 9 fits. Had he been on his B grade or his A grade, that would have been an out. But on his C grades, it's a 2-run home run for Bill Robinson. Pirates grab the lead 2-1. So the run is still earned. Both runs are earned because the error didn't really affect the extra base there. It's just the home run takes care of everything. 2-1 Pirates. And that brings up Rennie Stennett. One die didn't go through, so we'll try it again. 15, and that's an out. 6, it's a, with the bases empty, a 6 is, as you might expect, a ground out to short. So Spire makes the play, 1 away. And that'll take it to Ed Ott, the guy with the shortest name in baseball history. Ed Ott. 32, and that's going to be an out. 10 with the bases empty. It's a line out to wherever the white die is. That's a 2, so it's left field. Line out, fly out to left field, however you want to call it. 2 down. And that takes us to the number 8 hitter, Scrap Iron Phil Garner, third baseman. 43. And that's going to be an out on Rogers' card. That's a 7, so he flies to left to end the inning. But a 2-run home run off the bat of Bill Robinson gives the Pirates now a 2-1 lead as we head to the third inning here at Three Rivers Stadium. Top of the third we go. Due up for the Expos, it'll be Rodney Scott, who doubled his first time up. Again, this is practice for me. More time, more games I can get in, the more practice I can get in, the better I can get at the rules. So hopefully I'm not, messing anything up. Scott, 55, that's a single plus. So again, in my world, that means he has to try to steal. I know some people play it, you got to get the jump or whatever, but my philosophy is he's got the plus, that means he's going. So we check Ed Ott and see what kind of arm he has. Ed Ott, the catcher, is listed as an average arm, so no change. So Scott, 1 to 15, he will successfully steal this. And he does, and I believe it's a possible throwing error. Double check it here. Let's see, when you roll a 2 like that. Okay, I'm supposed to roll the white die with the D20. I forgot to do that. Make sure. It is a 1. Wow. Okay, so let's do this now. It says you roll the white die with the D20. If the white die is a 1, then it's a pickoff attempt instead of a steal attempt. So, okay, so if it's not going to be a steal attempt, we're going to actually have a pickoff attempt because I was supposed to roll the white die, and if it's a 1, it's a pickoff attempt. So let's go to the pickoff chart. It's a right-handed pitcher. What kind of arm does he have? He's got an average arm. Right-handed pitcher, average arm. Out is 1 to 4. Safe is 5 to 17. 18 to 20 is a possible throwing error. We get a 15, so he gets back safely. It says if the runner is safe on the pickoff, try the steal again. Okay, we're going to try the steal again. So again, it's a 1 to 15, and we're going to roll. And he's safe, assuming we don't have another 1 again. We do have a 1 again. It's another pickoff attempt. So again, 5 to 17, he's safe, and he is. So it says keep doing it. It says keep trying again. So we're going to try it again. A 1 again, so it's another pickoff attempt. 15, he's back again. How many times can we do this? Is there an engagement rule on this or what? Finally, we don't have that. 16, he's going to be out. That's a 15 there. They must have worn him down because 15 is a safe range. That's a 16. So he is caught stealing 2 to 6. And if somebody can let me know if I did that correctly or whether I messed something up, I don't know. I'm trying to go by what it says on the thing there. I'm assuming you can keep doing that over and over because it doesn't give me a limitation on it. It just says every time we roll a white die and there's a pickoff attempt, you try it again. So that's what I'm going by, and hopefully that's correct. I don't know. Somebody can leave a comment. If you leave it in the live stream, they disappear, but if you leave it in the comments after the stream is over, if you're catching this after the fact, you can let me know if I did that, what I needed to do instead if I did it wrong. So anyway, Scott is out finally, and here's Cromartie. 14, he's out, and that's an 18, so that's a fly to center field. As we get back to one dice roll deciding things. 2 down for Ellis Valentine, right fielder. 66 for Valentine. 1 to 14 is a home run. That's a 10. Blyleven doesn't change anything on the home runs at all. So that is gone. Solo shot for Ellis Valentine. We have a tie game at 1 apiece. The old Apple-like 66. 1 to 14 is a home run. That's a 10. It's a home run for Valentine. Tie ball game at 2. Again, with 2 outs, the Expos score. Just like last inning. Here's Perez. 12 for Perez. He is out, and that's going to be a ground out to short to end the inning. But at the end of 2.5, we are tied at 2 apiece thanks to Ellis Valentine's home run. And we start the bottom of the third with Steve Rogers. Back on the mound now in a tie game. He'll be facing the pitcher, Bert Blyleven. Blyleven, 129 average for a hitter as a pitcher, which isn't too bad. Not great, not bad. 25 is a strikeout, straight up strikeout. First strikeout for Rogers. 1 away, and here's Frank Tavares. 36, and that says PX on the 36. PX, I've got to figure out what PX means. I haven't ran into that in a while, so let me double check what PX means. The reading goes to the pitcher card, and if the result is a ground out, then it's an automatic double play. Okay, so we go to the pitcher card on the 36, but we don't have to worry about double play because there's nobody on base. So simply a 36, it's going to be an out. It's a 16, so that's going to be a ground out to short, but there is no one on base. Had there been a guy on first, it would have been an automatic double play because of that PX. But with the bases clear, just a standard ground out. Here's Omar Moreno. 32, and that's going to be an out, and that's a 9, so he flies to right field. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Steve Rogers and the Expos as they strike out Blyleven and then get a ground out from Tavares and a fly out to right field from Omar Moreno. And we go to the top of the fourth, still tied at 2 apiece. Due up for Montreal to be Gary Carter, followed by Parrish and Spire. Gary Carter, 52, and that's going to be a, well, let's check the 3 for the KD. His KD as a C grade is only a 2, so it's not going to override it. He would have overridden it had he been an A or B, but since he is not an A or B, he's on his C grades, he's subject to bad defense. So we're on the error chance, 52 error chance. And we get a 45. That's the second baseman. So we're checking the error rating of the second baseman, Rennie Stennett. Rennie Stennett error rating at second base. His error rating is a 7. So 1 to 7, he makes an error. 8 or higher, he makes the play. That's a 15, so he makes the play. And Carter is out of there. 1 down. Nice play there for Rennie Stennett. Takes us to Larry Parrish. Parrish walked and scored his first chance. 22, that's a solid single for Larry Parrish. 1 aboard, 1 out for Chris Spire, the shortstop. 55, well, these doubles are killing me. Single, so we'll get the runner advancement and see if the runner goes to third based on that 11. So we go to run on first, hit chart, and 11, it is a single to left field. Runner holds at second base. So single to left, and Parrish will hold at second base. So first and second, 1 out for Steve Rogers. He could bunt, or he actually got a hit last time, so they're going to have him swing away with 1 out especially. 34, and that's going to be a solid single. How about that? Steve Rogers, 2 for 2, helping out his own cause. And runners at first and second on the hit chart. That's a 5. It says it's hit to center field, scores. Runner on second will score if it's a fast or active runner or if two are out. They're not two outs. Let's see who's on second base. That's Parrish. Is he fast or active? He may not be. Parrish is fast. He is a fast runner, so he's going to score. What about the runner on first? Let's see here. It was a 5, right? Okay. Center field score is a fast runner. I don't see where it talks about. It doesn't say everybody goes 2 bases, so I'm assuming, and I'm hoping this is the right assumption, that Parrish will score, but Spire will only get the 1 base. That's what I'm guessing here. And I'm hoping I'm guessing correctly. But Steve Rogers 2 for 2, and the Expos now lead it 3-2. 2 of the 3 RBI by the pitcher Steve Rogers. First and second, 1 out for Dawson. Andre Dawson. He's 0 for 2. That's a 21. He'll be 0 for 3. That's another strikeout for Andre Dawson. And that's strikeout number 4 for Blyleven. Still not out of the woods work yet. 2 down. And he's still got to deal with Rodney Scott, who was 2 for 2 on the day. Single and a double. And a 55. That's going to be another single. That's a 9. We'll see about the base running advancement. Runners at first and second. And that's a 9. It says single to right field, assist chance at home. So we got an assist chance at home. The runner on second, Spire, has to try to score on this single, as it is an assist chance. It's to right field, which unfortunately for the Expos means it went right to Dave Parker. Well, Dave Parker, we look at his assist chance here. Let's look at the defensive chart. Maybe it's easier to see it that way. Parker, his assist chance is his A is a 5. Got an average arm, but his assist chance is a 5. So if we look at the assist chance, let's look at that chart to figure out the assist chance rules. I got to figure out where that is, because that's something I don't deal with a lot. That's why I'm playing this, to help me with the to go here. Let's see here, assist chance. It's got to be on here somewhere. I haven't done an assist chance in a long time, so it's going to take me a second to get the. All right, here we go. The arm rating, we have 2 components. Blah 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 blah. Roll a d6, and if it's less than or equal to the number, the runner is out. Okay, that's pretty basic. So the only way the runner is safe is on a 6, because we get a 1 to 5 with his assist chance being a 5, the runner is out. And he's safe. How about that? He got a 6. He snuck it in there. Spire will score. I'm assuming. Let's see. Does the runner move up? It doesn't really say. Doesn't say if the runner moves up. So that one I've got a question about. First and second, and it's a right field. Assist chance at home. Oh, it says that the base hit is a single and the roll is a 6. It's a possible throwing error. So I'm going to roll against the error rating of Parker. Okay, so he could have even made a throwing error on this. Parker's error rating is a 12. So I'm going to roll the D20. If it's a 1 to 12, he's made a throwing error. And he has. So he's made it matters worse. So Rogers will take third on the E9. On the hit from Scott and then the E9. And Scott will take second on the E9. So it is a throwing error on Parker. It does say if the roll is a 6, it's a possible throwing error. So there you go. So hopefully, like I said, it's a mess, but hopefully it's correct. So we got a single plus an error. Single plus the error on Parker. And that's going to score the run. Spire from second. Rogers will take third. Scott will take second. And the Expos now have a 4-2 lead. And here comes Valentine. All this with 2 outs. Here comes Valentine. 46, that's the ballpark card. Going to Pittsburgh's Three River Stadium. That's a 2. That's gone. Home run for Ellis Valentine. a 3-run shot for Valentine here on at Three River Stadium. The Devil Dies a 2, so that's gone. Ellis Valentine, or should it have been Cromartie? Hold on, let me see here. Was it Cromartie? That was Cromartie that was hitting, not Valentine. So it's a -4 on the home run here, but that's on the pitcher thing, not on the ballpark. So if we go to the ballpark, as far as I can tell, it doesn't say, it just says if no home runs, triples, or doubles, if 0 on card. Well, he doesn't have a 0, so he can't hit home runs. So that means it's going to be a 3-run home run for Warren Cromartie. First it was Valentine. It's actually Cromartie that hits the 3-run homer. It's a good thing I'm playing this practice game because I'm running into some glitches here that I'm not sure about, but hopefully get those worked out before tomorrow. 3-run home run, Warren Cromartie. And like I said, if anybody sees me making mistakes or saying, in the procedural that I should have done something or didn't do something I should have done or did something I shouldn't have done, let me know. But I'm playing it as if this is the correct way to do it. So 3-run home run, all of a sudden now it's, 7? Score is now 7-2. Steve Rogers has a big lead now, and Blyleven not much longer for this game. Here's Valentine, 52. It's above the KD rating, so we got another possible error again on the Pirates. And they are just not doing well in this game, to say the least. 51, that's an error chance on the third baseman, Garner. That's an 8. Garner at third base, his error rating is a 10, and he will make the error. So Garner will make an error, and it's going to be, there's 2 stars there, so batter safe at second. It's a 2-base error on Phil Garner. Pirates are really imploding here. Home folk are not liking that. So at second base is Valentine, and that brings up Tony Perez, 9th man to bat in the inning. 52, we're right back to another error chance. Incredible, these rolls. Oh, that didn't go through. Let's redo that. All right, we got a 16, which is a right field error chance, but that's a 5, so this is going to be an error almost guaranteed because Parker has an error rating of 12. This will be a second error of the inning, third error of the game on the Pirates, as they just have fallen apart completely. A 5 is a right field 1-star error. Batter safe at first, all runners advance 1 base. So they only get the 1 base, which I guess is some bright hope there, but runners are now at first and third. Third error of the inning on the Pirates, and now they've batted around as we will move that column, that fourth inning over 1 slot, and it'll be Gary Carter. He led off the inning by grounding out to second base. He has the opportunity to make 2 outs in 1 inning. 26, that's a left-right split, but it's righty-righty, so that's an out. That's a fly to left, and Carter does, in fact, make 2 outs in the same inning. But the Pirates put 5 on the board, and they lead it by the score of 7-2. And that's going to be it for Blyleven. He is out of here. Rogers given a huge lead to protect. And we'll get the numbers on Blyleven. They weren't good, but they're there. Mama said there'd be days like that. So we go to our box score and get the pitching result for Blyleven as he is coming out of the game. Blyleven, 4 innings pitched, 9 hits, 7 runs. 7 runs. They were all earned. Walked 2, struck out 4. So even with all the errors, they still, with the other hits that went with them, all the runs came out earned according to the computer. So that's what we're going by. And we'll figure out who the Pirates are going to pitch in the top half of the 5th. Right now, 7-2, and it's looking like it's the bad news here for the Pirates here on opening day. Here's Parker, 32, and that's going to be an out. 16, with the bases empty, is simply a grounder to short. 1 away for Willie Stargell. 25, and that's an out. That's a fly to left field. 2 down for Bill Robinson. 42 is going to be a base on balls issued by Rogers for Rennie Stennett. 45 for Stennett, and that's an out. A 12 with the runner on first. Out chart is going to be a pop-up to wherever the white die has 5, so it's pop-up to third. And Parrish has it to end the inning. So the Pirates go rather quickly here in their half of the 4th, as we have a grounder to short, fly ball to left, a walk, and then a pop to third. And now we need a new pitcher, and we'll see if there's going to be a double switch or whether it's going to pitch one guy 1 inning, because the pitcher spot is 3 spots away, and the pitcher would hit next inning. They may just want to go with one guy for 1 inning and not worry about a double switch, which is what I think they're going to do. So if we look at the bullpen for the Pirates, they have the following guys available on their roster: Ed Whitson, a right-hander; Jim Bibby, a right-hander; Enrique Romo, a right-hander; and Kent DeColby, a right-hander. 1 left-hander, Grant Jackson. So it looks to me like they're going to go with Enrique Romo just to pitch him this 1 inning, and then they'll probably go to the long reliever of Jim Bibby or Ed Whitson to finish out the game, as we're probably in mop-up duty at the moment. So Enrique Romo will come on to pitch for the Pirates. Enrique Romo in the 79 season was 10-5 with an ERA of 2.99 and 5 saves. So Enrique Romo is going to come on. His job is just to pitch the 5th inning. And he'll be facing Chris Spire. But first, we get into bullpen session. And that's a 9, so he's under his B grades. And he'll be facing Larry Parrish, Chris Spire, and Steve Rogers to start the 5th inning. Parrish will lead it off. 46 run the ballpark card. That's a 16. 16 is going to be a foul out, the last number in the foul out. Lots of foul territory at Three River Stadium. Since he's a righty, he fouls out to Stargell at first base, and there's 1 away. So 1 down for Chris Spire. 16, that's going to be an out. That's an 8. It's a fly ball to center, 2 down. For the pitcher, Steve Rogers, he's 2 for 2. 65, that's an out. No chance of a home run there. That's going to be an out. It's a pop to third. Actually, no, I'm sorry. It's a ground ball to third. So Enrique Romo pitches 1 inning and doesn't give up anything. So Enrique Romo is done, because he will be pinch hit for. And we will go to the bottom of the 5th. It'll be Ed Ott, Phil Garner, and a pinch hitter for the Pirates. So we got to go to the Action PC game and put the 3 outs into play to get us back into speed. Pop out to first, fly out to center, and a ground out to third. And now we're ready to go for Ed Ott. 56, and that's going to be a strikeout for Rogers. Only his second strikeout of the game. And that'll send up Phil Garner. 56, same roll, another strikeout. 2 up, 2 down, and now we're going to have a pinch hitter for Romo. And we'll see who's going to come on to pinch hit. They do have a couple of lefties off the bench they can go to. They got John Milner and Mike Easler from the left side. You got Lee Lacy, Steve Nicosia, Manny Sanguillen, Matt Alexander, and Dale Berra from the right side. From the right side. Let's see who they want to go to. They're going to go with Mike Easler, the hit man. So Mike Easler will pinch hit for Enrique Romo here in the 5th inning. Mike Easler. And then we'll figure out who the new pitcher is going to be. Thinking it's going to be Ed Whitson, but we don't know for sure. All right, Easler. 64 for Easler, and that's going to be an out, and that'll be a 14, which is going to be a ground ball to second. 3 up, 3 down. That's going to do it for the Buccos. And coming on to pitch for the Pirates will be Ed Whitson. He is going to be charged with some long relief duty. Whitson can face 17 batters in relief, so they will go that direction. Or do they go to Jim Bibby? He can face even more. Actually, they're going to Jim Bibby. They're not going to go to Whitson. They're going to Bibby because he can face 20 batters in relief and possibly pitch the rest of this game. So Jim Bibby is your new pitcher for the Pirates, and he needs a bullpen session. So we go to Jim Bibby's bullpen session, and he is a 6, which is his A grade. So he gets to be on the A grades. And he gets to face the top of the order, Dawson, Scott, and Cromartie, to start the 6th inning. So Jim Bibby, right-hander. Get the numbers on Bibby on the 79 season. Jim Bibby, 12-4 with a 2.81 ERA and no saves. He pitched mainly in a starting capacity, well, about half and half. Started half of his games, started 17 out of the 34 games. But he doesn't start till May, so he's got plenty of time to pitch out of the bullpen for now. And right now, Andre Dawson will lead it off. He is actually 0 for 3. 25, that's going to be an out, and that's a 1. So that's a ground out right back to Jim Bibby. 1 away. Very easy start for Bibby there. And we go down to Rodney Scott. An 11 for Scott. He's out. That's a 9. Fly ball to right field. 2 down. 2 up, 2 down for Warren Cromartie. Homered his last time up. 16. He will be out this time on a 16, which is a ground ball to short. 1-2-3 inning for Jim Bibby. But the Pirates still find themselves deep in the hole at 7-2. And Steve Rogers appears to be cruising. It'll be the top of the order for the Pirates. Tavares, Moreno, and Parker due up against Steve Rogers. Bottom of the 6th, 7-2 ball game. Not looking good for the Pirates. Whoa. Drop my D20. So here is Rogers. 46, that's the ballpark card. We're going to the ballpark card. That's an 18, so that's a stretch single into a double or out at second. You hate to do that when you're down 7-2, but I guess if we're going to follow it correctly, we need to follow it correctly. The 18 means it went to center field, so we're checking Andre Dawson in center field. Let's see if that has anything to do with his arm or not. use the outfielder's assist rating. Okay, so we're checking the assist rating of Andre Dawson, which is only a 2, so that's not too bad. A 1 to 2, he's going to be out trying for the double. 3 or higher, he makes the double. And he's out, of course. I mean, that's just par for the course, right? A little world's worst. So you're down 7 to 2, but by rule, I don't know of any. I guess there's maybe a homebrew rule maybe you can use to not do that. But as far as I know, let me check the rule book and see if there's a homebrew that would have prevented that. But I don't think there is. Let's see here. Doesn't really say on here that I can tell. So I'm just going to play it as it is. So it's a single, but he's going to be out. And the play is going to go 8 to 2. He is out at second. 8 to 4, not 8 to 2. So it is a single, but he's out. He's out. And now Omar Moreno steps to the plate. So that's not what they needed. Single, but he's out 8 to 4 at second base. Trying to stretch it. Here's Moreno. 46. We're back to the ballpark card again for the second time. 13 means he fouls out, and that's going to be a foul out to Parrish at third base. Lots of foul territory at Three River Stadium. So quickly 2 away, and that's going to bring up Dave Parker. 22 for Parker. That's a solid single. So a 2-out single for Parker. But down 7 to 2, they need a lot more than that. Here's Willie Stargell. 65. That's a home run straight up on a 1 to 10. That's a 9. It's gone. Willie Stargell. Home run, Willie Stargell. That'll certainly help the cause. Pops puts one in the seats for a 2-run shot. Cuts the lead to 7 to 4. And maybe there's life in that Pittsburgh dugout after all. 7 to 4. It's a home run. And it's a 1 to 10 on his C grades. Again, had he been an A or B grade pitcher, that would have been an out. But a C grade pitcher, that's a home run. And now here's Bill Robinson. 13, that's an out. That's a 6. And as you might expect, that's a ground out to short to end the inning. But the 2-run home run from Willie Stargell makes this a game again. It's 7 to 4. Favor of the Expos. As we head to the top of the 7th, it'll be Valentine, Perez, and Carter due up for the Expos. Seven runs, 9 hits, and an error from Montreal. 4 runs, 5 hits, and 3 errors for the Pirates. Their shoddy fielding really did it. Really did it. Shoddy fielding. 3 errors in 1 inning, 2 on Dave Parker alone. Here's Valentine. 62. That is going to be a strikeout for Bibby. And he gets Valentine easily. Brings up Tony Perez. 63. It's another strikeout. So, boy, Bibby's having some good times in relief here. 2 strikeouts in a row. Here's Carter. 42. And that's going to be a base on balls. So, he's on his A grades. 42 is going to be an out. Most of the pitchers have been on C grades all game, but this is actually on his A grades. So 42 is actually an out, and it's going to be a 3, which should be, and it is, a ground ball, but is he right-hander or left-hander? He's right-handed, so it's a ground ball to third. Lefty would have grounded first, but he grounds it to third instead. And we're heading to the 7th inning stretch here in Pittsburgh. Score Expos 7, Pirates 4. Due up for Pittsburgh in their half of the 7th. It will be Stennett, Ott, and Garner. Stennett's 0 for 2. He will lead off the bottom of the 7th against Mr. Rogers. 35, and that's going to be a base hit. Rogers on those C grades gives up a base hit. Leadoff single for Rennie Stennett. That'll bring up Ed Ott. 66 for Ott. That's a solid double, and that's an 8. So let's check runner advancement. Runner on first. A double with an 8. Center field assist at home, fast or average to third on the throw. He's average, so that means that he will take third on the throw. So even if he's out at the plate, Ott will take third on the throw. But now we're looking at an assist chance. It's an 8, so the assist chance naturally is to center field, which again is Andre Dawson. And Dawson already has 1 assist in this game, has a chance for another one. But his assist rating is only a 2, so it's not that great, but we rolled a 1 last time. So on the D6, a 1 or 2, and he's going to be out at the plate. And he is, so he's out at the plate again on the assist chance. So that's going to be 8. We'll call it 8. Well, it's assist. We'll call it 8 to 6 to 2. And he's out of there. So it's a double, but out at the plate on a, they call it 8 to 6 to 2 on the out. Going to third on the throw is going to be Ott. So now 1 away. Ott at third base. And here's Phil Garner. 64. That's going to be an out. That's an 8. Runner on third. Let's see if it's deep enough to score him. Fly out to center. Runners hold. Fast runner can run with risk. Well, he's an average runner, not a fast runner, is Ott. So he has to hold. And now we need a pinch hitter for Bibby. As they're going to have to pull Bibby out and try to get a base hit. And they're going to go to John Milner, the pinch hitter, the only lefty remaining on the bench, John Milner. He will pinch hit in a big spot to try to get him a run and get him a little closer. So John Milner is going to pinch hit. Unfortunately, the fly ball by Garner was not deep enough. And John Milner steps to the bat. See if he can bring home the run with 2 outs and a runner at third. 43. 43 is going to be an out. That's an 8, so it's a fly to center to end the inning. Pirates miss another opportunity to score a run as they have yet another runner thrown out on the base paths. That's happened to them quite a bit. They had a caught stealing here and 8 to 4 here. Guy trying to extend a single to a double, and then the throw out at the plate. But just bad luck. I mean, the D6 game was a 1 twice in a row, which you would think would never happen, but it did. And so now they go to the bullpen, and they will go to Ed Whitson. Ed Whitson will take over behind on the mound for the Pirates, and will get his bullpen session. Eddie Whitson. 19's on a C grade, so not good for Whitson there either. So Whitson, your new pitcher, as they turn to him to finish out the game and try to keep it close. He doesn't start until April 14th, so it's 8 days away on the calendar, so he can certainly pitch in relief. He'll be facing Larry Parrish to start the 8th, followed by Spire and Rogers, assuming Rogers stays in to hit. Whitson on the season in 1979, 2-3 with a 4.37 ERA and 1 save. And he'll be facing Parrish, Spire, and Rogers. Those are the scheduled hitters due up here in the 8th of a 7-4 Expo lead. And we're ready to go. Larry Parrish, 62, and Whitson's on his C grade. 62 is still an out. it's a 10, and on the base is empty. A 10 is a line out or fly out to the white die, which is a 2, so he flies to left field. That's one away. Here comes Chris Spire. 12, that's an out. That's a 17. He will fly to left, so 2 flyouts to left, and Rogers will hit for himself. 52, we got a chance for an error because the KD is only a 1. That's a 13, so you can't stop the error chance. So we will have a possibility of another error on the Pirates. They have not had good luck on this KD chart. 12 is the left fielder. Possible error on the left fielder, Bill Robinson. We'll check his error rating. Bill Robinson in left field, his error rating is a 5, but that's an 8, so he's able to make the play. Only be an error on a 1 to 5, but the 8 is there, so Bill Robinson does make the play. So 3 flyouts to left field, and Ed Whitson has a very pedestrian 8th inning. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It'll be the top of the order for the Pirates. Taveras, Moreno, and Parker, your scheduled hitters. So we go to the computer and put in 3 flyouts to left field. Very easy to recreate that inning on the Action PC computer. 3 flyouts to left. Keep an eye on Rogers. Rogers can face 33 batters before he tires. This will be batter number 28, so he's still in good shape. You're in the 8th inning. 42, and that's going to be an out. It takes away the walk because he didn't walk much. In fact, he didn't walk at all. So that's one of the neat things about this game is we don't go to the walk for Rogers and give him a walk. It becomes an out instead. A lot of players have blanks here. You can see on Omar Moreno's got a lot of blanks here, but Taveras, because he doesn't walk, all this section here, 41 to 45, which deals with walks, is overridden. So it's going to be a fly ball to left field for Frank Taveras. He flies out to left, 1 away, and here's Moreno. That's a 12. That's an out. 20. Base is empty, 20. It's a line out to the white die. The white die is a 2, so he lines it out to the first baseman, Tony Perez, for out number 2. Oops. A line out, not a ground out. My bad. Line out to first, not a ground out. L3. So we have a fly to left and a line out to first for the 2 quick outs to start the bottom of the 8th. And it could be that Steve Rogers finishes what he starts. He may not need help. Here's Dave Parker. 2 outs, base is clear. 65, that's a home run chance, but that's a 16, so that's going to be out of the range here. And instead, he will fly to right field. And so Parker just got up under it. We will go to the 9th, still 7-4 to score here at Pittsburgh. Ed Whitson back out, and he'll be facing top of the order, Dawson, Scott, and Cromartie. Dawson is 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. 26, that's a left-right split, and of course he's righty versus righty, so it's a 1. Simple ground ball right back to Whitson. Easy play, 1 down. And they'll send up Rodney Scott. 36, and that's going to be an out for Whitson, even on the C grade. It will be a fly to left. 2 down. And we're up to Warren Cromartie. 52, that's a 4, which is outside of the KD range, so we will check for another error once again on Pittsburgh. They are playing with fire with all these error chances. They've already had 3 of them. So we'll go to our error chart. 32 means we're checking the first baseman, Willie Stargell, for an error chance. That's a 4. That's not looking good. His error rating has to be 3 or less, or he's going to make an error. So Stargell at first base, his error chance is a 3. How about that? So he is able to make the play. And we'll say he flips to Whitson covering. So how about that? Billy Stargell. Not much range, but he doesn't make many errors, and so that he got by with that. We go to the bottom of the ninth, last chance for the Pirates. And they will be facing Steve Rogers. And it'll be Stargell, Robinson, and Stennett, the scheduled hitters. Expo bullpen has activity just in case he runs into trouble. The closer, Elias Sosa, is loosening in the bullpen. He had 18 saves in 1979. So he's warming up just in case Rogers runs into problems. Again, Rogers can face 33 batters. He has faced 30. So we'll keep an eye. If anybody gets on, he'll hit his fatigue number and go to his D grades if he gives up a hit. So keep an eye on Rogers. Right now it's Stargell. 62, and that's going to be an out. 5 with the bases empty. And with a left-handed batter up, it's a ground ball to first, who flips to the pitcher covering. Why am I off by an inning here? I don't know why my score sheet is off by an inning. That's weird. Very strange. Oh, because it's the ninth inning because they batted around. That's what made it look weird. Okay. It's a 3-1 put out. Forgot they batted around, so it shifted that by one column. So it's a ground out to Perez, who will flip to Steve Rogers for out number 1. That's going to bring up Bill Robinson. Robinson on the day is homered. His first time up, he's walked and grounded to short. 21, and he strikes out. Rogers with the strikeout. 1 out away from a complete game. Rogers, that's his 4th strikeout. He's walked 2 and struck out 4. Last chance is Rennie Stennett. 52, and we're checking for an error on the Expos. So we go to our error chance. This time for the Expos. 43 is going to be a second base error chance on second baseman Tony Scott. Go to Scott's defensive rating. That's a 17, so the only way he makes an error is if his error rating is 18 or higher. Scott at second base, his error rating is only a 5, so he makes that play easily, and the ball game is over. Expos defeat the Pirates by the score of 7-4, and we'll wrap things up and get the totals. And again, if anybody sees me make a game error on the Fall Classic, let me know so I can correct it if I misread something or did a procedure incorrectly. So we go to our box score just to get the totals. And totals is going to be 7 runs, 9 hits, and an error for Montreal. And for Pittsburgh, 4 runs, 7 hits, and 3 errors. For Steve Rogers, he gets the complete game victory as he scatters 7 hits and gives up 4 runs. They were earned. Walked 2, struck out 4. And so there you have it. Pirates here at Three River Stadium lose primarily that 5-run 4th inning with all those errors. Although even with all those errors, the computer still says all those runs were earned. So I'll live with it, I guess. But that's going to do it here from Three River Stadium. Tomorrow at noon Eastern will be the NBC game of the week on Fall Classic, and that'll be the Brewers hosting the Orioles from County Stadium in Milwaukee. That will be tomorrow's game. But I wanted to get one more practice game in before that came up, and that's this game here. And let's see, do we have a player of the game? Let's go back to the box score and see who did something for the Pirates. I'm sorry, for the Expos batting wise. Rodney Scott was 3 for 5. He had 2 singles and a double, run scored. Cromartie had a home run, but he was just 1 for 5, although it was a 3-run home run. So kind of a mixed bag there. You want to give it to Scott or give it to Rogers for scattering, pitch a complete game. Anybody's guess on that one. But that's going to do it from here. Like I said, if somebody would leave, once the video stream is over, if you would leave comments in the comment section if I did something incorrectly by the rules, please let me know so I can work on my proficiency for this game, which is still in infant stages. But I am enjoying it. It's something certainly different than Strat-O-Matic. Give me a little different feel and a little bit variety. So I do like that. So until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.